Have you ever been told that you're high maintenance, or that you're extra, or that you do too much? If so, good. Being high maintenance and not playing when it comes to your appearance, your standards, and the people you let into your life will get you the treatment that you want. And more than that, it will shape your entire experience of life. It will allow space for those with the same mindset to enter your life and enhance it, rather than drain from it and take from you. But let's be clear here, being high maintenance isn't just about beauty routines, although we do love a well-maintained look. A high maintenance mindset goes far beyond skincare and fashion. It's about the standards that you hold for yourself, the energy that you protect, and the way that you move through life. I've always been high maintenance when it comes to my self-care. I take my appearance very seriously. I make sure I look good and feel good anywhere I go. But as I got older, I realized that being high maintenance also has a lot to do with my mentality. I became more discerning, especially about the people I allowed into my life. So one of the biggest mind shifts is to stop wondering if people like you and start asking if you like them. That's when you truly take control, and that's when you step into your power. When you stop passively trying to gain approval and instead start evaluating whether someone deserves your time, your attention, and your energy, a whole shift happens. Having a high maintenance mindset means expecting the best from others, but most importantly from yourself. You know the saying, treat others how you want to be treated? Well, I say treat yourself how you want others to treat you. Because when you hold yourself to a certain standard, when you respect and value yourself first, people cannot help but follow your lead. So here are some things that I stopped doing to fully embody this mindset of being high maintenance when it comes to my actions and my beliefs and just how I go about my life. So I stopped overexplaining myself to people. Listen, you do not have to justify your actions to anyone, whether it's a close friend, a family member, a professor, a boss, whoever. Over-explaining gives people too much power over you, and if someone is really curious, that's fine, but never feel like you owe anyone a full breakdown of your choices or your lifestyle. So a recent example, I went out for dinner with a few girls after work. We were at an Italian restaurant, and of course, they brought out the free bread to the table. So I already knew that I was going to get pasta for my entree, so I skipped the bread because personally that's just too many carbs for me. Like, I didn't want to feel overstuffed and super tired afterwards. So one of the girls turns to me and goes, "Why aren't you having any bread?" And I simply just said, just don't feel like it. And that was it. No extra explanation needed, because truly, why did it matter to her whether or not I ate the bread? She was already eating the bread and she seemed to enjoy it. She even ordered some more afterwards. So she was clearly enjoying herself, and I didn't need to justify my choice. So another thing that I did is I stopped making people comfortable if they felt threatened by me. So if you're someone who naturally grabs the attention when you walk into a room, if people notice you, if they gravitate towards you and seem drawn to your energy, then you already know that some people won't like that. And instead of celebrating your glow, some people will try to dim it or ignore it or start complaining, things like that. So if someone starts comparing themselves to you or subtly shading you or making you feel bad about your presence, please remove yourself from the situation expeditiously. So I used to go out with this one girl occasionally, but every time we went out to bars or clubs, guys would always approach me and flirt with me and ask for my number, and never really hers. And I could tell that she was uncomfortable with it. So instead of focusing on her own energy, she was focused on my guys weren't flocking to her the way they were to me, and that brought the entire vibe down, in my opinion. So I made a decision. I no longer go out with that friend, and guess what? I have every right not to. If she asks me to hang out again, I will simply decline the invite and not go. You don't owe anyone anything. Leaving at the first inkling of jealousy or insecurity will save you so much wasted time and effort and energy. If someone is threatened by your energy, that's their issue, not yours. So the next thing I also want you to stop doing is accepting bare minimum effort. This shift is life-changing because once you stop settling, your entire world upgrades. And I mean everything. Your friendships, your relationships, your work opportunities, even the way that you treat yourself. If someone is being inconsistent, if they only show up when it's convenient for them, if they don't pour into you the way that you pour into them, why are they still in your life? High maintenance girls do not chase people. for their time, or to hang out or to see them. If you're only getting bare minimum effort, then that person doesn't deserve access to you. It's as simple as that. This isn't just about what you expect from other people, it's also about what you expect from yourself. Because high maintenance girls, we don't half step. If you ever found yourself cutting corners, whether it's in your looks or your goals or your habits, this is your reminder to step it up. So for example, if you know that you look 10 times better when you style your hair properly, or just pop on some earrings real quick, or some jewelry, some lip gloss, why would you leave the house looking half done? If dressing well makes you feel confident, why settle for sloppy outfits just because it's easier? If you have big goals for your life, why let laziness or self-doubt hold you back? Also, a high maintenance mindset means doing everything with intention, whether that's taking care of your appearance, nurturing your relationships, or pushing yourself to show up fully in your life. Everything is done with intention and a purpose behind it. So I'm going to need you to start setting boundaries without any guilt. Guilt is out and boundaries are in. So saying no is an act of self-respect, and high maintenance girls protect their peace first and foremost. So if something feels off, if someone is draining you, if a situation doesn't feel aligned, you walk away, like no explanation needed. Because the truth is, not everyone deserves access to you. And once you embrace this, your life gets so much easier. You stop feeling guilty about walking away from situations that exhaust you or simply don't align with the vision that you have for your life. So if a friend is always being negative, always complaining, always bringing bad energy to the hangout, why are you entertaining that? You don't owe anyone unlimited emotional labor. And if someone keeps disrespecting your boundaries or testing your patience or bringing drama into your life, cut them off without guilt. If you need to take time for yourself, don't feel bad about saying no to plans, events, or obligations that don't serve you, unless it's a strategic move and you're going to go for that reason. And here's the thing, when you set boundaries, the right people will respect them. A saying goes, the only people that hate your boundaries are the ones who benefited from you having none at all. The wrong people, they'll fall away. And honestly, that's a good thing. I used to not think that it was a good thing when people would exit my life once I set a boundary. But looking in hindsight, and now that I'm a little bit older and no longer really living for the approval of other people, I've realized just how powerful that is, preserving my energy, preserving my time. People don't deserve your beauty, your energy, whatever you have to offer them if they don't respect your boundaries. So next, I'm going to need you to embrace being extra. So some people love to throw around the term extra as an insult, but why is it a bad thing to want more for yourself? I remember occasionally in college, whenever I would show up to functions or hangouts or whatever for whatever clubs I was in, and I would just show up looking put together. I mean, obviously I wasn't wearing ball gowns to the club meeting, but just put together, looking good and whatever. Girls would always comment, oh my gosh, you always look good. And I always knew that was a backhanded compliment. They were just jealous that I put in the time and effort to know what clothes look good on me, to know what makeup looks good on me, and to just look stunning without doing too much. So being high maintenance isn't about being difficult. It's actually about refusing to settle for mediocre. And if that makes you extra, that's a good thing. So if you like taking your time with your appearance, putting effort into your makeup, and styling your outfit, why should anyone shame you for that? If you prefer more high-end luxury experiences, high-quality products, and environments that feel elevated, why should you settle just because other people don't get it or don't like the same things? If you expect respect, effort, and care in your relationships, why would you downplay your standards to accommodate someone who refuses to step up? And the truth is, people who call you extra or always point out that you're doing too much, quote unquote, are often the ones who don't have the discipline, the confidence, or self-respect to hold themselves to the same standards. So instead of seeing it as something to be ashamed of, own it. Because the extra girls are the ones who live the most fulfilling, beautiful, and intentional lives. And the next thing I did is I stopped worrying about being likable. And again, I feel like this one just kind of comes with age. One of the most liberating things you can do is let go of the idea that you need to be liked by everyone, because not everyone is meant for you. And when you fully accept that, life gets so much better. Because let's be real, if you're constantly shrinking yourself, dulling your shine, or toning down your personality just to avoid making other people uncomfortable, who are you really living for? A high maintenance mindset means understanding that your energy is valuable. It's currency, and not everyone deserves access to it. It means being okay with the fact that some people won't like you, won't understand you, and won't match your standards. And that's perfectly fine. Again, when I was younger, I used to think this was a bad thing. I used to think that it was a bad thing if people didn't like me. I thought it meant that I did something wrong or that I wasn't worthy of being likable. And then I realized, the people who don't like me, that's fine. That's their issue. I'm going to keep living my life, and the people who align with my vision, align with my goals, and want to support me will find me, and I'll find them. Like, if you think about the most magnetic, successful, confident women, are they running around trying to please everybody? Absolutely not. They're focused on their own lane, aligned with their own purpose, and secure in themselves, whether people get it or not. The right people will naturally gravitate towards you, and the wrong ones will fade into the background. No need to force friendships, bend over backward for approval, or dim your light to make other people feel comfortable. When you stop worrying about being universally likable, here's what happens. You attract high-quality connections with people who genuinely appreciate you. You stop wasting energy on people who were never meant to be in your life anyway, and you start moving with a confidence, knowing that you don't need anyone's validation to feel whole. And at the end of the day, being liked isn't the goal. I think the goal should be to be respected, first and foremost, by yourself and then by others, to be valued by yourself and by others, and to be fully yourself, unapologetically. So a high maintenance mindset isn't about being entitled or unreasonable. It's about knowing your worth and moving through life accordingly. And that could look different for every person, but it's about expecting the best, setting standards, protecting your energy, and refusing to settle. Because when you start valuing yourself, the world has no choice but to do the same. So if someone ever tells you that you're too much, just smile and say thank you, because that means that you're doing something right.